Hello, hello, hello. Welcome to Money Talks with Ayanna Smith, and I am your host, Ayanna Smith. And I, of course, am a financial professional, licensed financial professional in life insurance. I'm a life insurance broker, and I love to help the professional woman, really the professional, get their things in order and see how we can strategize to make things work better, make things grow better, and make money last forever. We want to do that. So, without further ado, we'll be right back in just a quick second. Well, hello, 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 and welcome to Money Talks with Ayanna Smith. Now, listen, today we're going to get into, you probably already saw the title, 10 Things Professionals Need to Do to Increase Their Cash Flow and Savings. Because wouldn't you agree that we really have a lot of things on the line, a lot of things that we are sometimes uncertain about. Sometimes we just are trying to think what is going on, what are we going to do. I was just seeing something about childcare and just the astronomical costs of childcare, and that even with two working parents, two working professionals, it is difficult for one salary really not to be engulfed by childcare. And it's to the point where people are having to, one person is having to opt to stay home and take care of the children. And sometimes they didn't imagine that, while the other goes out to work. And the thing is, I guess they have to really take the part about who's making the most so they can maximize it, or who can get the most tax breaks. But anyway, all of that has to be worked out, because it is really serious when you're thinking about starting families or starting businesses. As we are, most of us here that are listening, you're dualpreneurs, you have a 9 to 5, but you're working professionally. And you're looking at, building up and honing in on those gifts and talents and skills that you have from the inside. And you're like, how can I get to where I need to get to? Well, there is a way, because people are doing it. So we want to make sure that we stay on that path and not stay on the dismal side of things, but look at how we can build and grow. Because some of the remedy that just came to me and thinking about the situation where I was viewing the couple that when one had to stay at home, then maybe that person, maybe they have some gifts and talents that they can hone in on and help to build and increase some income. And eventually, as those children get old enough to go to school, they can still keep themselves tapped in and busy and connected to what their profession is and go back into the workforce. But there's so many different ways, and that was just one scenario that popped up. And so I just led out with that. But we want to really talk about, 10 things that professionals can do to build up their money and the cash flow. Because if the cash is not flowing, then it really will kind of stop everything, right? But we want to build the cash flow and look at how we can carve out money or grow additional money, or tap into additional things that we can do to build our savings. So, hey, let's get right into it. And we'll look at our list and look at things and go on and get it going. How about that? All right. So here we go. Now, listen. The first thing, of course, we want to look at doing is one that we cannot run away from, one that I always have to keep going back over, looking again and again, looking at again and again. And this is something I will say, side note, if you schedule a complimentary consultation with me, I'm able to help you work through this. This is number one, is create a budget. Now, I can't help you like sit there and create, but I can help you to walk through what you have coming in and going out. And then that will help to look at, give some framework to where the cash flow is flowing or not. and maybe some things that we can massage, reshape, shave, reallocate, and go from there. So when you do that, you want to have that detailed outline of all income sources and all expenses. And sometimes we don't even think about it because we have it all lumped together, which of course it is not. From my CPA friends and tax professionals, don't have your things lumped all together. But sometimes until when we getting started, we may not have that plan all in place and we have it lumped together. But bit by bit, start pulling up, writing down what you know is going out and coming in, as far as if you have businesses and different apps and all that, those things like that. Account for all of those things. Account for all of those streaming services and different things you have on your personal side, and all of the automation and apps and things you have for your business side if you're doing that. And then you can look at and see where the money is going. So you have to track those spending habits, and then that can help us identify where the expenses can be reduced, eliminated, and of course, then you'll give yourself an increase, or you'll give yourself a raise, and that will then in turn increase the cash flow. Sounds good? Yeah. So we're going to work on doing that. Okay. So listen, number 2, increase income. You said, well, how can I increase my income? I mean, my income is my income. If I work a certain amount of time, this is what I'll get. If you're a W-2er, I always like to use that term, my W-2ers and my 1099ers, or, the straight, contractors. There are ways to increase our money, even if we are on the salary line. If we work hourly, of course, sometimes even if we're on salary, we can work or do work for jobs sometimes that will allow what we say overtime. Okay. So sometimes people try to garner all the overtime that they can garner and get in there and work. But then, you have to look at too, as I always say, the things we need and can grow and build are in our hands. So if we look at some things that we know we can do well, when people can pay us for it, then that might be an option to increase income too. So basically, look at your opportunities to increase your earnings through salary negotiations. Sometimes you can go to the table and negotiate your salary. And it's amazing because most places don't. We take whatever they put on that contract and push it over to us. And I know that I have been gotten gaffled, pushed to the side on what the person thought they should have paid me based on what they thought they should have paid me. Sad, but true. But sometimes you're able to drop back and say, hey, let's look at if there's a latitude, there's some wiggle room with this particular position. What are the numbers? What is that base? What is that cap? Let's look at where I fit in there. If they have a set grid chart and a number of years and things like that, then sometimes that's delineated very, very specifically and very clearly. But if you do have a wiggle room and you can produce that you've done some extra things, some extraordinary things, some things that, know that would bring an increase and value to that company, then going back to the table and doing a counter may be what you need to do, and in that art of negotiating your salary so that you can get things that, get the money that you deserve. And then also some other things you can do is taking on some freelancing, additional work projects, investing in education, and I always tell people, I've invested in education till I couldn't invest pretty much anymore. I needed to be paid all off and done with and all that good stuff. But if it is a certificate or some type of certification, or like I did, I became a licensed financial professional, which gave me another license on top of the license that I already had in education. That I was able to study for a good 2 weeks. And within a month, less than a month, you can have a license to insure people with life insurance, or if you would car insurance, whatever vein you want to go, Medicare, all of that. You can have a license. And I implore you, think about it hotly. You can get a license that will provide some lucrative money for you, a lucrative experience for you once you get rolling, get going, get clients and all that. And of course, connect with me if you want to know more about that, because it is really a license. It's regulated. Is a license that I would say I don't plan on ever letting go. And so that is really something to look forward to, and being able to help people. And then it be something that you really are, you have to study for and get yourself in position to grow. And then you can go out and help others over and over. Okay. And so then that will help you to increase cash flow. Or you can explore some passive income streams, such as investments or rental properties. Now, some of the investments that I like to look at are, and I can tell you more about this too, investing in commodities, investing in commodities like gold and silver, because those commodities are always going to increase in value. Whether we believe it or not, it's going to increase in value because those commodities aren't going to go down. Our dollar, our paper dollar, may go down, and it is diminishing every day. But the gold coins and the silver coins, I'm starting to bank up silver, getting silver coins. That will allow you even down the road to trade and barter if there is no access to the paper money that we have. And I've heard stories of that, that people are able to barter because they had silver and they were able to get things that they needed. Especially during the time, I think, when some people had some natural disasters. I reflect back on reading something about when someone was in the situation with Katrina, but they were able to get their hands on their coins, and that was a way that enabled them to get some things and get to where they needed to get to. So that's something to really think about, and we can talk about that because it is so necessary to start what we say diversifying our portfolios and just diversifying ourselves legacy wise, showing our children and our children's children on how to build up, and that there is more than one way. My mom always said to skin a cat, and there is more than one way to make legal, positive cash flow, income, and savings. Okay, so let's think about, and let's look down at we're on 2. So let's look over to number 3. Oh, well, before we go for number 2, it talked about rental properties. So with rental properties, of course, real estate is always something that is very lucrative, but you want to make sure that you have enough to keep everything going, just in case there's a time and place where you may have to continue to pay mortgages and all that if someone is not able to continue to pay or what have you. So make sure you look at that thoroughly, but that is a solid industry as well. And like I said, life insurance, you can't outpace it. It is a solid industry. I mean, tip top. It's ranking up there. Life insurance, rentals, we say real estate and retail. Those are the top 3, and you can check that out and look it up and contact me if you see something that's different. But those are 3 solid industries. And like I said, I am in one of them, which is life insurance, and I love it. Okay. And number 3, reduce expenses. So if we evaluate, as we kind of said in number 1 with that budget thing, reducing our current expenses and we can identify those areas that can be cut, because sometimes, and I know that I've looked at some things that I even have with business wise. I said, well, you know what? This app is doing the same thing. And which one can I maximize so that I won't be spending double money? If I can still get the same things out of the this particular app or this particular service that I am subscribed to, as I have done with this one, then let me extract this one. Let me take the one that's going to get the most out of what I need and get rid of the one that I don't. And I mean, that could be schedulers and automated, email systems and all that. And you don't want to throw those things away. So make sure that you thoroughly look through those things before you just off with them, because it could then set you back. The whole key is to help you to do your job and help you to get in the know and help you to market and help you to organize everything from the home to the business to the workplace, all in a better fashion. Make sense? All right, you give me some thumbs up and give me some comments, and please make sure ask some questions, and I'll make sure to get back with you on the questions as you shoot them in the chat, or either directly message me to ask me some questions if you need to do that as well. All right, so as we move a little further, then it goes into what we've been saying. We've been crossing up all evening. Number 4, automate your savings. So automation is very good because I automate my savings. I do. I get them to just pull out money, a certain amount each time. Like I know when checks or when money is going to hit, and just pull the money out, put it over in a savings account, and then I know it's there, sitting and collecting. And so that means the automatic transfers are set up. Excuse me. They're set up from your checking account, and they go into the savings account or even investment accounts. And of course, this will ensure that you have that portion going into your income, and that income is saved over to the side consistently before having a chance to spend it. And you want to make sure you do that. I've even had a great tip to do this. Have it going, if you can, to a bank that you don't have a card attached to. So if you have to access that money, then you have to go and get it. And it's not just an automatic press the button on your app and switch it out, because you're more apt to switch it out if you know it's right there readily available at a fingertips notice. So make sure that you look at that and consciously be consistent about saving that set amount of money every 2 weeks, every week, every month, however you want to allocate it. And then, of course, set a goal on how much you want to have, and then you'll know how much you need to extract from those accounts. And then even helps you to think about how much do you need to make if you are selling something or building something or working on something, or know that you're going to be coming into a certain amount of money. How much do you want to deposit directly and extract from the amount of money that's coming in, so that you can help to build that cash flow and your savings as well? And while you are automating savings, here we go. We'll flow into number 5, an emergency fund, FUND, not emergency fund, FUN, but we want to build the emergency fund to cover unexpected expenses or loss of income. I mean, sometimes you may have to get some tires and different things like that, but the whole goal is, or the rule of thumb, I would say, is to cover about 3 to 6 months worth of living expenses in a readily accessible account. Because sometimes we have accounts that we say, oh, I can get money from over there, but then there's a delay in, we have to, request the money, get the money. It's a few days, and we may need it a little faster than a month or 2 from now. It may take that long to sometimes generate those funds, depending on where we have them and where we are getting them from. Okay. But if you have an account, the emergency fund is going to function where it is, almost saying multiple savings accounts. You have one that you may want to be able to gravitate to right there, but that emergency fund is, you want to keep a certain amount in there at all times, 3 to 6 months, and work on starting out. Do you have a month? Putting a month aside. That's how I had to start, putting a month aside. Then you just build on and really do things to say, hey, I am going to focus on my spending. I'm going to be intentional about my spending, and I'm going to, instead of spending, I'm going to take what I was going to spend and put it into my savings account. And sometimes that makes us go like, oh my goodness. Sometimes it's hard for some people. Sometimes it's not. But if it's hard for you, you just say, okay, I got to put it to the side because I may need it. Something may come up. And then I'll live off of this. And then I'll also have a little part to the side where I can have some fun, or I can go out to eat. I can go to a concert. So you don't want to deprive yourself totally, but we don't want to be excessive in just taking everything like right now, and never thinking about that there is a tomorrow. If we live there, tomorrow will be. Okay. So number 6, debt management. Prioritize paying off the high interest debt. Okay. We're going to pay off those high interest debt and credit card balances, personal loans. Look at an income, implement a debt repayment plan. Sometimes it is based on your income. And that's why I was leading out with income, like income repayment plans. Sometimes companies will allow you to do that based on what you are bringing in. That's why it's good to pay attention to what your checks look like, what your budget is looking like, so that if that is a case, that they can slide and reallocate what you're paying per month while you're paying down the other debts. Work on that plan and work with your creditors to do that, so that you can get yourself in good standing and maintain yourself if you're already in great standing. Hey, everybody doesn't have to pay off everything. Some people have paid off all of their stuff. Okay, so but work on that plan. And of course, number 7, invest wisely. So I was talking about investing in gold and silver coins, different things like that, investing in real estate, investing in looking at, we don't say investment, but looking at how you can allocate your money and put it in a life insurance plan if you qualify for it, to help you to build up and build your money over time, because it's a long-term strategy to build your money there. So diversify your investments. Some that are low risk, some that are maybe high risk. Just look at what's going to produce over time, what can give you that longevity, what's something that's quicker than others. But make sure that you don't invest in something, or I will say this, the money that you're investing, make sure that you're okay if you lose it. And if you're not okay if you lose it, then you may want to reconsider where you're going to put it for that time being, until you can build up. So some say, rule of thumb, allocate a portion of savings towards investments that offer potential for growth, such as stocks, bonds, mutual funds, or real estate. And like I said, blink, 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 life insurance. So we need to talk about that. And diversify your investments, and diversify. And I put up a post just this week about, I reposted it from one of my great friends in the financial industry, saying, if you didn't think that having multiple or diverse ways of making income and cash flow is necessary, then basically think again, because it is a must. It is imperative. It is necessary. It is something that we cannot do without, and we need to do it like ASAP. Okay. So then we look at that number 8, tax planning. Oh my God. We can't get away from 2 things. That's taxes and inflation. And of course, we're all cousins, because Uncle Sam requires that we pay our taxes. Yeah. So take advantage of tax saving strategies, such as contributing to your retirement funds, like your 401ks, IRAs, and using your health savings account. I utilize the health savings account, HSA, and sometimes you see that HSA on the side of some of the items that you buy every day, like some of the toiletries, some of the toothpaste, deodorant, different things fall under those categories. And you have to look at and know your medications. You can pay your co-pays for medications. You can pay your co-pays for your doctor. All of that can go under there. HSA, hospital bills, things of that nature can fall under that health savings account. That will allow you extract a certain amount of money from your check. You allocate on how much you could put in pre-tax, and that money goes into that account. Usually people put it on a card for you, and it's like a credit card, and you go in, and if you have to pay for even childcare, works on that. If you can set aside that money allocating for the childcare, it will give you a tax credit, basically. So basically, let me explain it. If you make $50,000 a year and you put, say, $2,000 on the HSA card, then when tax time comes, it shows that you made $48,000, because you extracted that money and utilized it for the things that you could pay for. But here's the thing: if you don't spend it down to zero, then that money is not left over. It's because it's a time frame. It's not left over. It is just lost. So you want to make sure that you're planning out on how much you'll pretty much need, chiropractor's visits, things of that nature, physical therapy. It's a bunch of things that fall under that, but you have to consult, of course, with your tax professional to identify some additional deductions and additional credits that are available to you. And when it comes to health savings account, you have to look up what things fall under that, and you'll be surprised to say, oh my goodness, even diabetic socks, Yes, even diabetic socks, mouthwash, different things of that nature. It's amazing. So, with that, those are some things that you can look at. And as we come now to our descent, number 9, blink, blink, blink. Something that is near and dear to me, review insurance policies. Get a review, get a regularly review on your insurance policies. It is imperative that you do so on your health policies, on your life policies, on your auto policies, and on your homeowners policies. It is a travesty to sit and not ever look and stay in policies year after year after year after year when they are not serving you. Oftentimes, better rates can be garnered, better rates can be gotten, better rates can be received as we get older or when things change, children move out, all that, different things shift. And if we just keep the same old, same old, same old, we'll keep paying the same old, same old, same old rates, or the rates may go up and we're wondering how can we get some relief. And sometimes it is just pretty much having someone who can shop around for you. Like I am a broker and I can shop around for you when it comes to the life insurance part. And when it comes to some of the health things, I'm connected to, I'm doing that, getting ready to move into that realm as well. But I have people who are connected that can help team wise, health insurance and homeowners as well, because it is just imperative to save as much as we can and to maximize what we can, maximize our money, maximize our dollars, and stop just throwing it out saying, oh well, it's automatically taken out and then just forget it. No, that's not a good practice. Sometimes it's just good to stop and reevaluate. And if you are good, like I always tell people, if you are good with your life insurance policy and we find that there's no need for you to get something else, stay put. It is my fiduciary duty, it is my ethical duty, it's all that stuff together to make sure that you are where you need to be. And if you're where you need to be, that you stay there. I'm not just trying to take you out to get a sale and replacing something that doesn't need to be. That's not good practice. So I'll look for free. I'll do a free look for you. But if you are fine, you will stay right where you are, because I don't want to be responsible for shaking up what you already have moving forward. Okay. All right. So you're going to then, when you look at that, that will then we'll see if coverages need to be adjusted and all that good stuff, and making sure that you are insured, have enough insurance, because sometimes, we don't even have enough insurance. We don't have enough. We don't have enough to cover what we need to cover in the event of travesty, in the event of needing to pay off mortgages and all that, or at least have that piece there for people to, our families, to be able to have a leg up if something were to happen to us. So it is imperative that we do those look throughs, look overs, and reviews. Okay. So let's, you can schedule, go to askayanna.com and schedule a complimentary consultation. Hey, and we can go from there. And now we are on number 10, 10, 10, continual learning and skill development, which still is similar to what we said before. Is all these have been kind of fluid. Invest in your own personal and professional development to enhance your earning potential. Stay updated on your industry trends, acquire new skills, certifications, as we already said, some new certifications. And sometimes you can work with peers, collaboration to open up new opportunities. I will tell you, collaboration is amazing. I've had people to call me in to speak at their corporate events, and then it turned into something else where somebody else heard me speak, and we came in and was able to give some tidbits and tools on how to get organized with the life insurance and how to start thinking more fluidly about planning for the future, planning for now, and building up. So whatever your thing is, whatever you can collaborate with. I like to collaborate with realtors and doctors even, and nurse practitioners. I like to pair and partner with them when we're looking at even positioning people for their older years, and seeing how they can help stabilize and restabilize and build the savings and build the cash flow and achieve that greater financial stability just by looking at some small things, which can turn into some big things. I help the people also to look at Do we have enough coverage? Yes. But do you have the long-term care? Do you have living benefits? Do you have a plan that people can come into your home and help you in the event you got too sick? People don't want to go to nursing homes if they don't have to. But in addition to, look at planning, and that's where that budgeting and that's where putting all that money together will help. So you can see if you need to purchase a plan that will help you. That can help you build and have something in place in case you need some home care. So these are all the things that kind of go all together. Even though we're talking about the professionals, we are working and living longer. So therefore, we have to think about a longer plan as we are living. Okay. So listen, it's been wonderful. I've been so glad to be able to come and talk and speak on Money Talks with Ayanna Smith. If you have any questions, make sure that you contact with me, askayanna.com. Subscribe to my YouTube channel that you can easily get to. It is The Ayanna Smith, and you will see all of those things connected by just going to askayanna.com. There you will find every way to get connected with me through Instagram, through Facebook, through YouTube, and of course, sign up and subscribe to my email list so that you can stay connected and you can contact me for any speaking events coming to your sororities, fraternities, your churches, your corporate spaces, to speak about how we can get things in order and just get our minds going on how we can elevate and maneuver and get to the next, the next level in saving our money and building our cash flow. So this has been Ayanna Smith, and Money Talks with Ayanna Smith. And remember that money is always talking. What, even if we aren't talking about it? Be well, be safe, and make sure that we connect and like, comment, and share this broadcast.